talking about Grant. I thought Grant did a hell of a job. You know, we put him in a tough spot. Hadn't pitched in, I think, 11 days. It's a tough assignment, and I thought he threw the ball really well. Had the tough, what was it, the fourth there, I guess, where he threw, I think, 39, 40 pitches. So, you know, having not pitched in that long, I didn't want to run him back out there. He had to really grind that inning. So, but I thought he did a hell of a job, considering, you know, and you know, Didi was tremendous. What a luxury to have a guy that can come in with that kind of power and go multiples, save the rest of the bullpen. Yeah, he was awesome tonight. You know, we got some big homers from some guys that, you know, I think hopefully are starting to turn the corner. You know, there's been some signs. So happy for Yaz. Austin probably could have had two. You know, I mean, he hit the ball 106 or something like that in his first at bat. So ball wasn't really traveling much tonight, but yeah, he could have had two. So some really good signs, and it's a great win. You know, it's a really good team we played, and they're playing well, and it's just a really good win.
So that was the thing, you just long layoff for Grant, plus a fresh bullpen, like we talked about the other day.
Yeah, you know, had Didi with a full tank, you know. So I felt like, and look, coming into it, because of the long layoff for Grant, you know, he wasn't gonna throw 90 or 100 pitches, you know. So he was approaching 80 pitches. So really, I mean, even if he does go back out, he's facing a couple 3 hitters, and he'd be at the end of his rope. So that's why I went to Didi there. But yeah, Didi did a hell of a job.
You feel like it was kind of a matter of time for Yaz to have a big game to play?
Well, yeah. Look, I mean, you know, it felt like he found some things in Kansas City last year with his swing, and it looked that way this spring. He had an unbelievable spring training, but you know, these are the ups and downs of this game. It's everybody struggles in this game. So he's got a good track record, and he's got a high baseball IQ. You know, he understands the swing. He understands what he's trying to do. So I think, you know, when guys have that type of aptitude and that type of work ethic, they usually can get through things.
Your team chemistry appears to be off the charts. Do you have a new leader on the team? Is there some culture? Is there some reason you can attribute that to?
You know, winning always helps, you know, that stuff. But I was saying coming out of spring training that I kept talking about how good the vibe was, the mojo, whatever you want to call it. We got good guys, man. We got a really good group. They like to compete. They like getting to the park and being around each other. It's a really good situation. You know, and Alex does a lot of work on who he lets in the building. You know, whether it's on the staff or a player, he does a lot of work on the makeup and the character, and I think it's a result of that. We just have a room full of a lot of great competitors and a lot of great guys.
You were talking before the game about how Bobby was just such an encourager and helping guys out when they were slumping, and I don't know if it occurred to you at all, like the two guys who hit home runs for you guys have been struggling, two guys I'm sure that you and others have been pouring into. Did that thought cross your mind at all?
No, not necessarily. I mean, that's I think that's kind of my nature too. You know, I like to encourage guys, and you know, obviously that was one of Bobby's greatest strengths. He and virtually everybody you talk to about him that played for him says that. So, you know, maybe I took that from Bobby, and I'm good with that if that's the case. But the game is really hard. I think it's important to encourage guys when they're struggling, because you feel like when you're not playing well, everybody hates you. You know, in this league, you know, so you don't want your players feeling that. So I think it's important to encourage through the tough times.
Did you think about trying to get thrown out of the game to honor Bobby?
No, I wouldn't have done it any justice. I mean, nobody can do it like Bobby, so it wouldn't have worked.
How impressive is it to see Dominic hit like he hit?
Yeah.
Not even being a line of all the time.
Yeah, no, it's another one, man. Dom is just he's a hit machine. You know, and look, there was a stretch there where he wasn't playing much. And he was pinch hitting, he was still barreling the ball as a pinch hitter, getting in that bat every few days. And, you know, he's gonna get another run where he's gonna get a lot of the DH spot moving forward, against the righty, so, but yeah, he's been unbelievable. I mean, it's his story and his journey, is really pretty cool, you know, and here he is, you know, swinging the bat as well as he ever has. He's always been a talented hitter, like I've talked about. I saw him as an amateur, you know, and I've seen him in the division for years, so I've watched him a lot. He's always been a good hitter, you know, but he's feeling at home here, and you know, I think, you know, maybe the culture has something to do with that. You know, I think it brings out the best in guys, and Dom's doing a phenomenal job for us.
You guys, you took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, the likely playoff team, the Cubs, likely playoff team. You gotta keep stringing these good games together. Is it hard not to get ahead of yourself a little bit? Do you feel the confidence just rising?
Yeah, I don't ever get ahead of myself. Way too cautious for that, but it feels good to be playing well, and it, you know, especially the way it started last year, makes it extra special that we're playing this well early on. But we're a good team. You know, I said that coming out of spring training. I said we're a good team, and you know, we still got some guys that we got some reinforcements maybe coming. So, but the guys that have been playing have been doing an unbelievable job. And it's, you know, it's the whole roster, it's the whole bullpen, you know, it's everybody. And that's usually what it takes, you know, to do something special, you know. But yeah, this is a good team.
What do you think of Kim tonight at shortstop?
I thought Kim did a great job at short. Had some tough chances. The one up the middle, and when he flipped to Ozzie, ball was smoked. I mean, he made a really nice play there, and charge play, tricky hop there, stayed through it. You know, we've seen him play Gold Glove shortstop in the past, so he's a really gifted athlete. Yeah, I thought he played a hell of a shortstop tonight.
This team's been successful, and that's also with, you know, just injuries still coming. You know, as you saw Murphy going on the IL too, Acuna out. As successful as this team's been, do you also think there's some resilience shown, you know, in that?
Yeah, no question. And look, you got to be resilient. The game dictates that. This game, the schedule dictates it. How difficult this game is, how difficult the league is, our division. It dictates that you better be resilient. And I think our guys have met all the challenges head on so far. Whether it's been the schedule or injuries or whatever, our guys have met every challenge head on. And you know, we're going to continue to do that because that's who we are.
Any last ones? Any legitimate concern with the pickoffs?
Yeah, you know, to be honest, it's gotten to the point where, you know, we have to make an adjustment there. You know, it's look, I mean, I don't think you know, it's costing us games, but you know, it just shouldn't happen at this rate. You know, and I know we're trying to do some things different and that type of thing, and the guys are working their butts off, trying to be really good at it. And Antoine has been awesome, and he's got passion. He's accountable. So we just, you know, that's just something we got to clean up.
All right.